Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the music business. And let me tell you, it has completely transformed from a world of selling stuff you can hold into this complex economy of rights, brands, and data. The story of how we got here, it's definitely not what you think. Take a look at this number, 60 million. That's how many copies Michael Jackson's album Thriller sold. Back in 1982, this was the absolute peak of the old music industry, an industry built on one thing, selling a physical product. Millions upon millions of records, tapes, and later CDs. It was a business you could touch, and it was worth a fortune. And then, poof, everything changed. This quote here from Jorge Jerez, who's a huge force in the Latin music scene, just nails the exact moment it all got turned upside down. His story is going to be our guide through this whole explainer, because he saw the disruption not as an end, but as a beginning. As he puts it, a crisis is just a big opportunity in disguise. Okay, so first, let's just step back into that old world for a second. The age of the record. This was the golden age, right? The record labels were basically empires. They controlled everything, making the records, getting them into stores, telling you what to listen to. An album wasn't just some songs. It was this thing, this product that you owned. Back then, the money for a big artist kind of broke down like this. About 70% came from touring and concerts, and the other 30% from selling records. Now, 30% might not sound like the biggest slice, but when you're selling millions of albums, that is a massive, massive number. But here's the kicker. Most of that 30% went straight into the pockets of the record label, not the artist. Then the internet happened, and it was like an earthquake. Piracy, file sharing. It just shattered the old way of doing things. Album sales fell off a cliff. For every one album someone actually bought, you'd have like 20 illegal copies floating around. And the labels, the old gatekeepers, they were just too slow to figure out what was happening. This is the crisis Jorge Jerez walked right into. And he saw opportunity where everyone else just saw chaos. And the speed of this change was just dizzying. Seriously, think about it. In less than 20 years, the industry went from the height of physical sales with Thriller to the absolute chaos of piracy with Napster, and then boom, the birth of a whole new system with Spotify. And today, streaming isn't just a part of the market. For all intents and purposes, it is the market. So how do you even work in a world where your main product is being given away for free? Well, this is where the story gets really clever. Jorge Jerez had this brilliant idea. He realized the pirate market was actually the most honest kind of market research you could find. He'd literally go to street markets, see which bootleg CDs were selling the most, and use that data to book concert tours. The logic was simple, right? If someone is willing to pay anything for a pirate copy, they'll definitely pay for a concert ticket. And that one simple insight, it led to a complete revolution in the business model. That old 70-30 split between concerts and records, it was obsolete. The new goal for a healthy, long-term career is a much more balanced 50-50 portfolio. 50% from live shows, yeah, but the other 50% from owning and controlling your music rights. Music itself, now in digital form, became a huge source of income once again. So what does this all mean? It means this shift created a totally new kind of artist. You're not just a singer anymore, you're not just a performer. To survive and thrive now, the modern artist has to be the CEO of their own company, of their own brand. It's a huge, huge change in what it even means to be an artist. I mean, just look at the difference in the playbooks. The old way was pretty straightforward. You get signed by a big label, you tour like crazy, and you hope they handle the business side. The new playbook? It's all about empowerment. It's about building your own brand, owning your master recordings, and using social media to build a real community around your work, not just a list of fans. And that brings us to this really important idea. Virality is no longer the main goal. For a while there, it felt like everyone was just chasing a 15-second viral moment on TikTok, but the smart people in the industry now know that's just fleeting fame. It doesn't build a career. The real objective is to build a durable brand, a dedicated community that's going to be with you for the long haul. So if the artist is now a CEO, how do they run their company? Well, one way is this family office model that Jorge Jerez pioneered. Basically, you surround the artist with a board of smart, trusted people. Lawyers, business experts, accountants. They treat the artist's career like a venture capital fund. They've had all the opportunities, help the artist invest their influence and money wisely, and build a diverse legacy that goes way beyond just the music. Okay, and this leads us to what might be the most mind-blowing transformation in this whole story. Music isn't just art anymore. It's not just entertainment. It has become a legitimate, highly sought-after financial asset. And the biggest investors on the planet are taking notice. So get this. People in high finance are now asking this question seriously. Is owning a song catalog a better investment than owning a building? And the argument is pretty compelling. With streaming growing all over the world, music catalogs create these predictable, long-term revenue streams. They're assets that spit out cash, just like a rental property, but with the potential to grow as more and more people get online globally. And the potential returns, they can be absolutely incredible. This is the legendary story. Paul McCartney actually gave him the tip.
Michael Jackson bought a huge chunk of the Beatles' catalog in 1985 for about $45 million. He later sold it for $750 million. That's a 16x return. It just goes to show you the insane financial power baked into owning timeless music.
So, where is all this cash coming from today? The data is crystal clear. Streaming now makes up a whopping 67% of all music revenue globally. Physical sales, down to just 10%. The game has completely, totally changed. The money is in the streams and in owning the rights to those streams. And don't get it twisted, this is not some niche little game for music nerds. When a financial behemoth like BlackRock starts up an entire division just to buy music catalogs, you know it's for real. Music has officially arrived as a serious mainstream financial asset. Okay, so what's next? The industry is still changing at a wild pace. So let's take a look at some of the key trends that are going to shape the next chapter of the music economy. All right, so a few things really stand out. Musically, you've got genres like Afropop just exploding onto the global stage. Business-wise, huge growth is coming from emerging markets in Latin America and Asia. On the tech side, AI is making music discovery super personalized. And for artists, that trend continues, focusing on deep community instead of cheap virality and managing their careers like a smart investment fund. And if we look even further down the road, there's this really fascinating theory of a fourth stage of music called composing. The idea is that technology will eventually make creating music so easy, so accessible, that the line between who's a listener and who's a creator just disappears. In that world, making music could be a way we all communicate, not just a thing we consume. So I want to leave you with this one last kind of crazy thought. We all know music reflects our mood, right? We listen to upbeat stuff in good times, more somber stuff in bad times. Well, researchers are now looking into whether the collective mood of an entire country, measured by all the data from places like Spotify, could actually predict economic trends. Could the songs we're all streaming be a signal that a recession is coming before the economists even see it? It's a wild idea, and it shows just how deeply music is now woven into data, finance, and, well, everything.